Hi everyone. I'm actually with Dennis, my colleague, as well as our architect Nikki here. Yeah. Uh, okay. For the start, yeah. Thanks everyone for joining today's meeting. Yeah. Just a quick introduction. We are actually a developer firm doing diversified portfolio, and for my role, I'm actually taking care of the project management from end to end, from the bidding through the design, compliance, and delivery. So such that I work also very closely with the consultants, and I firsthand see how the compliance challenge can actually derail even the best design projects. So that's why today we are here to actually share a real pain point that is pretty similar with what Wizard from Forum Architect have actually brought across some of the challenge that we feel across the year, but maybe cut in a quite different perspective. Maybe a quick start, have a backdrop, introduction. I think the reality that everyone is facing here is there are multiple agencies we need to face from BCA, URA, SCDF, and PUB, and all sorts of
Okay.
first of practice. Yeah. So all the regulations come regularly updated and in the form of PDF. And by the time that we actually digested everything and put it into the design layout floor plan and do the overall coordinator check, there is always this impact in terms of the time and the actual coordination. Then comes the endless cycle, submit, reject, redesign, or resubmit. And all this means time loss, delays, wasted resources, and cost piling up. That's why with the rules changing so often, it's quite impossible to keep up all this manually. No matter how good is the QP, is able to remember each of the code that being updated now and then. So this is a national, industry-wide dilemma we are facing. So why is the urgency now? We thought that it comes pretty timely. I think we Connect X is being pushing through and developing and leaving gaps for compliance coverage. And the regulation are getting more and more complex and updated frequently. I think that what we want to also highlight is the pain points that we face daily. And here as SingHaiyi, I think with our partner PNT, we see the huge opportunity with the rising AI tools that we are able to actually pioneer certain AI-driven compliance solution and compliance check to set a new benchmark for the industry. So for the solution-wise, what we are looking for. So if we can have some solution that can work within the BEAM with the real-time verification and the clear feedback. And for the coverage, if we're looking at least the 80% of the critical rules, fundamental things like GFA, accessibility, fire safety, egress, and to be integrated seamlessly with Revit, ConnectX, and to be smart enough to handle all this incomplete data. And most importantly, it has to be quite user-friendly. So we are looking at innovators that can make all this compliance proactive, not reactive. But all these are very big vision. So to actually tackle all multi-agencies at the same time, we do feel the challenge. So what we suggest in the next slide is, as a proof of concept strategy, we want to start with a small step. Okay, just taking use of universal design accessibility, something that is more clear-cut and streamlined to do the fundamental check. And we will apply this in the real BIM models from one of our residential projects. We will target the new up and coming Bayshore project. And the goal is to directly compare the solution against the current ConnectX validator and to demonstrate if it's possible to demonstrate its superior accuracy and coverage on this aspect of the UD. So hopefully what it will happen is for the consultants, we are looking at 70% less of the manual review effort. For developers, 50% of the faster approvals and 30% shorter design cycles. Yeah. So the roadmap is to use this for the coming new SingHaiyi projects if this tool is able to come out successfully and eventually align with the BCA for wider industry solution. So the innovation challenge hurdles, we are also equally aware. So we need a dynamic rule update, no downtime whenever BCA or SCDF actually revises is a requirement. Yeah, we also need a kind of adoption strategies that consultants won't change overnight. So training and change of management is key. And we need a strong collaboration framework that work with the regulators. That's why we are seeking innovators that has the capability of in NLP, LLMs, and the BEAMP plugin development that can translate all these complex codes into the practical and usable solution. So this is our vision. So today, compliance is manual, creative, and full of rework. And tomorrow, we would like to actually look for something that is AI-driven, integrated, proactive. The vision is big, but we believe it can be done by stepping out a small step. Yeah, that's the end of the presentation. And we are happy to share our vision and welcome any queries, which hopefully we are technically competent to answer. Yeah.
All right, Weecham, thank you for the presentation. We have two questions from Biomico. We take them one at a time. There are 7 key regulatory agencies. If you could choose only one agency, that is either BCA or SCDF or one of the others, to meet compliance checks, which would it be and why is it so important? I'm guessing this is a prioritization question.
Yeah. So as what I have mentioned, to start out with a smaller step, I think out of all the X and codes out there, the most straightforward one is universal accessibility. So things that we can check with the UD portion is like the clearance for all the corridors, the access to the fire lobby, the turning radius, what fire lobby? The handicap clearance, as well as those drop level differences from the lobby stepping into the residential units.
Ramp gradients.
Yeah,
There's a
ramp
lot of
gradient.
things that on a 2D scale that it might be easier to check for as a first step, because we're talking about a system that might be multimodal. That means there's something that might be able to recognize 2D plans to see what it can do in terms of compliances with the BCA code. So I think that's what we probably want to start with. That will be our starting point.
Yeah, because what we internally have always all the while discussed, there are all these thick codes and circular that has been updated and issued regularly. If we are able to actually load it onto an AI tool that is able to plug in into the BIM, all this fundamental check we should not be doing manually. It will be more similar to the clash detection that we're doing in our actually the visual VDC time when we're doing all the M&E clashes with the structure or certain architecture bulkhead, how it actually cut across and termination. So why not we turn it to something that is more on compliance-driven checker? While we already practice this, is more on the actual construction time for the coordination works across the different trades. So we are just in the way bring it to different platform, but actually using different plugin, yeah, to actually play out all this to validate certain of the very manual conditions that have been set up front to start off with the UD portion. Yeah.
All right. Second question is, does SingHaiyi handle compliance checks, or is this the domain of consultants? And what is the value of an automated compliance checker to you as a developer?
Of course, developer don't have the expertise and knowledge, technical knowledge for our QP, right? But I think we're all working in the same team who actually we can collaborate to actually help cross each other. I always believe in check and balance. This is not only a world that we just rely on QP. We also know that nowadays construction is also fully driven design and build. So it's actually a collaborative effort. So if we have additional tool to come in to help, For developer side, definitely we have different perspective, but more integrated in terms of time, quality, cost, and overall effect. Yeah. So if any part that can compliance for architect, it can help. Definitely, it's definitely in our interest to push for something that to enhance the efficiency of everyone. Yeah.
All right. We have one more question from Betek. Would structural analysis design of be of concern to SingHaiyi?
I think everything is a concern to us if it does not work, right? So, okay, what maybe I want to put it across is we are all experienced professionals. We have seen different complexity in each of the trade. So I think out of all, everyone has its own expertise within each trade. Yeah, for structure, I can't comment that much because it has its own complexity in the different calculation, in different site context, with the soil quality or the sensitivity if we are in the railway reserve line or that. Yeah, but if this is actually one of the tools that we can upgrade and then inbuilt to for the checker, that would be fantastic. But I think currently we are more be affected in terms of the whole time delivery is more on a lot of code compliance, then they don't gel in. And for Connect X to work really more seamlessly, we think that there should be a tool at least can marry one or two together. We are talking about across the different authorities, maybe 5 or 6, the LTA, the PUB, they have all different codes. But to marry them from different perspective, we think there is still somewhere to go. So maybe one thing very I always in mind is FSD, which is also very complex. But we know in many cases it's performance driven. So even we upload whichever code in, if we already done a performance-based simulation, it will not add to us any benefit. What I will turn out to have the checker is everything non-compliance, but it has no value to us. But if we are only doing some fundamental checker, which it can improve by automated portion, yeah, I think simple things like I short of the 25 mm, then I cannot clear my UD, then I have to hack through to get my TOP for every single lobby. That mileage actually it adds value to the whole project because every one day is also cash to us. Yeah. So hopefully that address your question if I have interpreted correctly. Yeah. Yeah.
All right. So I had one question to ask, which is about just things like user experience on your end, things like workflow integrations that you would prefer or prioritize in terms of flag issues and how to make it more actionable for designers and engineers on your end. So are you looking at things like in-model prompts or dashboards or visual overlays or notifications? What does that design look like in your mind?
For me, I'm not a very tech person. So if for something to be really friendly using, I don't think that we need retraining each time for a non-tech person to actually get on. So we have different consultants and different projects. If there is really this tool that is being successful, what I mentioned in the previous slide, we hopefully this require the least of retraining because I think each tool would require certain in-depth understanding and then retraining. That will also be quite time consuming because maybe the next coming new tools and advanced tool that will replace it. Yeah, so it may not be that relevant. So hopefully we start with something simple and whichever dashboard or platform that we can come out of is also can be easily applicable to layman like me. Yeah, that would be fantastic. But we have intelligent people working around me. They are more tech savvy, so I think that has no problem for them if it's not that friendly to use. Yeah.
Yeah, I think one to maybe to answer your question technically would be either a plugin that goes in with one of the BIM softwares that actually can run once the thing is done, and then we choose the parameters of what we want to check, and maybe that would be how it might give us a feedback, like a report on which of the areas of non-compliances. That means similar to like the Navisworks clash detection report. In this case, what it does, it will probably, I mean, ideally, I'm talking about a very utopian kind of solution where if we run this, then it'll give us a report showing which are areas of non-compliances. I mean, that would be ideal. I think something like that. Not like a dashboard, a plugin that can be eventually spread out to other software users, or maybe using Revit or ArchiCAD or whatever it may be.